Hello. So this rather excellent looking DMU R157, I think it's stamped Hornby, has just arrived with me. It was classed as a non-runner, and it lives up to that expectation insofar as the PP3 battery on it. This bulb illuminated when the polarities connected in one direction, and the bulb will sit behind the head code. So on closer examination, it's got this thing in it which is marked as Airfix locomotive receiving module, channels 5 to 8. And the unit's connected to the chassis of the motor, so i.e. one rail. And then the other rail goes along this brown wire here into this module and returns to the brush on the insulated side of the motor via this white wire. So it appears to be some kind of relatively basic DCC or something. I've googled briefly and I can find the units online, but I can't find an awful lot of information immediately about it. However, I can report that having taken a crocodile clip lead from the PP3 to the live side of the motor runs. And I think what I'm going to do with this is give it a service, obviously remove this device. By the look of the wiring, the brown wire here, the white wire here, they seem to be the same wire types as is used here, so it's almost like it's original with the model. It does seem a bit odd that it's just kind of sitting there, but I mean, I don't suppose there's anywhere else it could actually be accommodated. Be interested in any comments anyone's got, if you've got one, if you've seen one. But as I say, I'm going to take it out of circuit. If I find it is original equipment, when I sell this, I'll sell it with the part so that someone who has an appropriate control system could reinstate it back to what may well be its original condition. Okay, so welcome back. A short time later, this Airfix receiver has been removed. Sorry, I have changed out the old-fashioned inductor for a modern one. I've also put in a suppression capacitor. There wasn't one in it. It could be that it's in the little Airfix box of gubbins, I don't know. I've also fitted a socket there and put a 2-pin plug on the end of the lead that goes to the head code bulb. I haven't bothered keying it because it's a bulb, it's not an LED, so it's not going to matter which way around it gets plugged in. The unit was not that dirty really, but obviously probably hadn't been running a while, so it's been oiled there and there. There are no oil pads on these ones, which is a bit of a pity, but there we go. Put the usual grease on the worm, contact cleaner to clean up the commutator, and also, quite importantly, where the axles bear on the chassis is a conduction point, and it's typically a poor conduction point in these bogies. The way you can tell if it's giving you problems is if you take say one of these crocodile clip leads, and in this case the chassis side is that side, so you can put it on the rolling road there and clip it to there. If that causes the motor to speed up, then you've got conductivity problems on those bearings, and it's a matter really of taking the wheel sets out, cleaning the chassis, cleaning the wheel sets, and then replacing the wheel with just a little oil. There is a type of oil available which I am looking for. I'm just going to go off camera a moment. Yeah, this oil is probably the best you can get for going into that part. Too much and you have conductivity problems, too little and you get what I've seen on a number of these bogies. You begin to get wear, and when you get wear, the chassis where the axles take the chassis weight effectively, it starts to thin the chassis, and the weight starts to be borne then by the armature, and this one doesn't do it, but I'll probably do another video where I'll show a worn one. And it, rather than being solid on the wheels, the chassis rocks, and you'll notice it if you're running backwards and forwards. It will rock one direction one way and one direction the other. It kind of reminds me a bit of prop walk on boats. It's nothing like prop walk on boats, but it still reminds me of it, and I just thought I would tell you. Yeah, so at the beginning of the video you saw that this 2-car DMU set, Hornby from, I believe, 1976 or 1977, came in its box, complete with the expanded polystyrene. Regrettably, there are no instructions, not that I'm overly excited about that myself, but it's, as you can see, the condition is great. It's hardly been handled at all, if at all. Looking underneath, the plastic gears, they show no sign of wear. The other side, in terms of decal, is just as good. And the dummy car, really nice, similar condition. Just moved the duster there, dear. Yeah, so it's just fantastic condition. So once I've finished with this, I'm going to definitely put it up for sale. Yeah, not much more I can say about it really. It has the, well, I'm going to say more now I suppose. It has a head code which lights, and in the case of the dummy car, the lighting is done using a single pickup on the axles of these two wheels, so it does flicker a bit as it's going along. There's a little permanence from the fact that it's an incandescent bulb rather than an LED, but it could do with a capacitor or something in there to make it stay alight a little bit more than it does. But given the unit is so original, you see this one has it as well. On the power car, obviously the light stays on better. I'll show it running in a moment. Because the unit's so original, I don't intend to do any modifications to it other than those that I felt were essential, just to allow it to run properly, obviously having removed this piece. I've done a bit more research on this now, and it does seem to have been some kind of analog 16-channel control that Airfix introduced very shortly before it went into liquidation. Whether there's a direct connection between the two things or not, I won't speculate.